Hello everybody, it's Mike here at Game From Scratch, and today we are talking about the Humble RPG Game Dev Bundle once again, and that's just because there was a major update to this since I last covered it, and the sale is still going on for another 10 days, so if you were hesitant to get involved in this bundle before because of some of the licensing conditions, that might be a little bit alleviated at this point. Also, I have gone ahead and purchased the bundle, so if you're wondering exactly what you get out of it, I'm going to be able to give you a hands-on of what is actually in this bundle. I'm actually going to be doing that for all Humble bundles that are relevant for game development going forward. So if I think it is appropriate for game development, I'm going to be covering it on this channel. I will go ahead and purchase it myself so I can show you guys hands-on exactly what you get, the quality of the contents, and so on, so you can better decide if the bundle is right for you. And at the same time, I have also joined the Humble Associate programs, which helps me actually pay for each one of these bundles. So by the way, if you guys do buy these bundles, thank you very much. It really helps me out. Okay, without further ado, Humble RPG Bundle is going on right now. If you don't know, Humble Bundle is basically a way of selling a bunch of like-minded assets with the ability to give some money towards charity, towards the original developer, and towards Humble themselves. And this one was all about game assets. There's a lot of things are RPG-oriented game assets that were in this bundle, but one of the big problems with the Humble RPG Game Dev Bundle was the license. And you can see right here on GameFromScratch.com, and of course I will toss this link, a link to the Humble Bundle, and everything else all down below. So don't worry about links. But the license basically came out and said, the big one is here. This guy right here. Use the licensed asset and any derivative work as part of either one non-monetized media product or one monetized media product, which basically said you can buy and use these assets once. And that obviously was a bit of a limiting aspect for people. And the developer behind it definitely acknowledged this fact, actually. And here is a Twitter conversation that I've been having with them. Basically, my original video, I came out and said, great bundle, beware of the license. I said that on my Twitter post about it as well. And again, if the bundle isn't good, I'm not going to push it at you guys. I'm obviously going to point out any of the flaws that are there. Well, in this particular case, Game Dev Market, the people behind the bundle, actually responded back, just to let you know, we're bringing forward changes to our license to allow each of these assets to be used in multiple projects. And then you get a little bit more about when, and it says change is not going to be implemented on a site because they have to call all of their sellers, because basically Game Dev Market is reselling other people's content, so they need to go to their sellers and tell them they've updated the bundle, etc. So the licensing term of their pro license has not been updated yet. So they're like, well, okay, I can't take you on faith. And they said, okay, well, there is a README file included with the bundle that states about multiple use. You can also email them directly and they will confirm the change to you. But that actual comment itself, the change to the license, is as follows. License is going to be updated, hasn't officially been updated yet. However, the following has been attached to every file in the bundle. Licensing before you jump in. So this is the beginning of the excerpt of what they've updated, by the way. Licensing before you jump in and get going with all these assets included in the bundle. We just need to make you aware of licensing terms for using this asset. Each asset that comes in the bundle is mainly covered by the Game Dev Market standard license term with one vital difference. At the moment, our license states that each asset can only be used in one project. However, we are in the process of removing this clause, so for the purpose of any Humble Bundle purchases, future or past, all assets can be used in multiple projects. So you're kind of going on good faith that this update is going to happen, but I imagine in any court of law at this point in time, them officially appending this to their licensing agreement is good enough. So if you were hung up on that license stipulation, it's not something you need to worry about really anymore. So this is included in every single asset inside the Humble RPG bundle. So now we go on to the second part of this video. What exactly is in this bundle? Well, when you go ahead and buy it, I don't know if you've ever purchased anything from Humble before. The very cool thing with Humble is all of the stuff that you buy, you can go back to their site at any time and download it. So here is what you actually get from this bundle. And you can download each one individually. You'll notice the majority of these are very small. So between 1 and say 80 or 100 megabytes, and then there's one really large one here at 4 gigabytes. And these are all individual zip files. The various different art packs and WAV file formats and so on that are in this all come down as multiple zip files. You extract out all of the zip files, and here is what you get. And here is what is contained. So this bundle that costs you about 25 bucks, I think it is, for all of it, contains 56,000 files. Oh, yeah, 56,740 files in total, and is 6.5 1 gigabytes in size on disk. So this is a sizable bundle, and we'll go through some of them and show you exactly what you get. A lot of them are quite similar. So, for example, I will only show you one of this 3 set because the others are kind of structured the same way. So here is one of the tile sets. You'll see this is the updated license they just mentioned. And again, it is probably as legally binding as their license itself, so you should be good to go there. Every folder is going to have that, but the main thing that you're interested in is the assets folder. You can see in this particular case, it is a set of tiles, either 64 by 64 or 128 by 128 pixels, as well as a JSON file, the PSD file or the Photoshop file that was created for it. You see there's a waterfall, and grassland tiles, and we'll go in here to the 128 by 128, and here you can see one of the tile sheets you get. There's a total of 3 tile sheets in this particular collection. And there you go. So if you're making a tile-based map, nice collection of tiles available in this particular set. And then you will see, once again, the other 2 in the series are almost identical. Same kind of structure. You get the PSD files, you get the 2 different image resolution formats. So nice set there. Now the big one here, this is this 2D game art bundle. This is the big guy. This is where the majority of the content is. This is a 4 gigabyte download. And you'll see all kinds of different things. There's a lot of individual characters, medieval mage, old guy, princess, punk girl, various different ninjas. So this is a bunch of different character stuff. Again, as I mentioned earlier on, there's those updated licenses that you got going on. So let's pick one of these guys at random. Let's go with Anubis. So here's what Anubis contains. So you see there's an Adobe Illustrator file, EPS file, a PNG file, and a Unity package. The Unity package is so you can import it directly using the package manager in Unity itself. Let's look at the PNG rendered results here. So it's broken up. These characters are all vector-based, so this works very well for like spine or sprite or creature or marionette or I'm missing one, Dragon Bones, those kind of systems. So you can see they're actually broken up from pieces. So there's the background of the head, the height, the hands, the so on. And then here you can see if you go into the PNG sequences, you've got animations already defined as pings rendered out. So you can use the individual pieces to create this character. Or for example, let us see a dying frames. So there you can see all the individual frames in a dying animation. And you've got about 15 or so different animations defined for this character. So in this particular part, the 2D game art bundle, you are getting a ton of predefined characters with a raw resources available for them and a number of animations for each. So that one's definitely nice if you like their art scheme, that is. Here we go, another set of tiles. And then in this particular case, you see we've got the same kind of setup, the 64, the 128 pixel sizes, the pre-rendered maps. Let's go on back, look at the next set. Isometric pack, let's see what they look like. Once again, assets folder. So you've got objects, which are a bunch of PNG. I don't know why that isn't giving me thumbnail view, but let's switch that over to thumb view. Oh, large icons. There we go. So here's what you're getting out of that guy. A bunch of different tiles that can be used in your... Okay, let's go into the sprite section. And you see we've got various different game sprites. So grass. And you've got isometric grass tiles ready to use. So pretty cool pack there. Let's go on back up here. So that's the isometric tile pack. More tiles. UI pack here. We've got a collection of assets. And these are various different things that you use in a UI. Window, decoration, arrows, buttons, that kind of thing. Dividers, equipment, hearts for your character. So going to heart, you see you get one large sprite sheet of various different hearts to use. And let's head on back up. So next up, we've got animal RPG sprites. And so what you're actually getting in each one is a little bit different. So you're not always going to get those PNG or Adobe Illustrator. These are made by different people and different art styles. So somehow kind of meshing all these together can be a bit of a challenge. But you see, you're getting a pretty comprehensive set of things here. So let's go and take a look at the... Ooh. See, and now this is where your problems are going to lie in. We got the earlier ones, the tile sets are available at 64 by 64 and 128 by 128. Here we've got some RPG Maker sprites that are just tiny. So we're talking probably, this is 12 by 21. So you're going to find, again, there are some duds in this pack or some slightly outdated stuff that you're going to find for sure. Now going here, we got some GUI icons. Let's take a look at how that's going to, okay, so this is a PSD file in this particular case. And here's rendered as PSD or as PNG. So you got a number of nice tiles or icons you can use in your pack. Pretty nice stuff. And again, you got the Photoshop source files as well. So that's nice if you're going to be wanting to be editing them. Another sprite pack, 80 characters with animation. Let's see what these ones look like. So here's individual frames. Here's a cat. Again, really, really tiny. So that's kind of the downsides of some of this. Some of it is going to be very much that 8 or 16-bit RPG Maker style sprites, which if you're not using a game like that are going to be borderline useless to you. So got more icons. This is another one, Hero Base. A little curious what this guy was. I never did check it out. I think it's just, yeah, a naked sprite in multiple different directions of walking. So that could be useful to some people. RPG pack icons, more sprites, inventory icons, RPG icons. Where are my music files? That's interesting. Okay, 1 second. Okay, I'm back, and I'm apparently a bit of an idiot, because I actually only downloaded the graphical side of things. So you'll notice on here, as I come back in, there's also a number of sound effects packs here. So you can see we've got Orcs and Beasts sound effect pack, Medieval sound effect pack, inventory, and then this one, the Pro Sound Collection. This seems to be the biggie. So I'm going to make sure I go ahead and download that guy. So that's a large download at 2 gigabytes. But you see, we got a couple of different music settings and spell effects. So I'm going to go ahead and I'll download this one so you get an idea of what's in the audio stuff. I completely overlooked that when I came in here. I didn't realize that the audio stuff was separate from the graphics stuff. Now, another nice thing with Humble Bundle, though, is you can actually bulk download everything all in one download. I don't know why I did that. I'm probably a bit of an idiot, as I mentioned earlier. So we'll see how that download is going. That's going to take a second. All right, so I'll just pause that out because we've got a pretty good idea now what kind of graphics you're dealing with the army packs and the tile sets and the assets you're getting. So you're going to have some of them, as we saw earlier on, are definitely a little too small to be useful, but you're seeing the majority of these are actually at a fairly good pixel resolution, or for the case of the vast majority of characters, they're actually as vector graphics, so you can scale those up to whatever size you need. So if you are looking for characters, there's definitely a huge amount in there. So now I'm just I'll pause out while this continues because we're still gonna be looking at, oh yeah, that doesn't make any sense. So this little guy at 30 megabytes is taking 9 minutes, whereas my 2 gigabytes is going to be down in 44 seconds. Anyways, you don't want to listen to me babble for 44 seconds, so I will be back in a second when the music stuff is down. So I'll show you a sample of what is in those 2 different music packs, and then we'll continue on. Okay, so we are done. This is the smaller pack. Remember, there was a bunch of miscellaneous different packs. So I wanted to show you what you kind of get in the one collection and then what you get from the super collection. So from the single one, you get mono and stereo versions. So go to stereo. So we got Earthquake and Bravery, mono, Earthquake and Bravery. So it seems to be the same content, either in mono or stereo. And then you go into each one, and this is Bravery MP3 file. Let's see what this actually does. Wow. All right, so it is just a small sound effect, but for some reason encoded as MP3. That's very strange. So let's see what thunder sounds like. There you go. So that's the one pack. It's a bunch of different sound effects encoded as MP3 format, which again I find a little strange, but oh well, it's easy to change file formats. And then next up, we've got the Pro Sound Pack. This is the big one. This is the 2 gigs of stuff that we've got in there. And we'll go into that collection, and you'll see we have a whole bunch of different sound effect categories. Again, that license is there. Also some instructions on how to set up automatic gun sounds in games, general tips for game developers, and the sound list PDF file. So we've got alarms, beeps, sirens, animal impersonations. That could be interesting. Background cinematic sounds, comedy, cartoon, doors, folly, footsteps, magical spells, metal, miscellaneous, punches, retro classic, sci-fi. So let's see what sci-fi has going on. And then we have another, and these ones make more sense. These are in raw wave formats. So you got alarms, beeps, codes, device, droids. Got actually quite a few different versions of everything in there. We got user interface sound effects. We got some voice works. Let's see what actually voice includes. Announcers, baby, human, male, troll monster, kind of a random collection. Water, whooshes, zombies. Some pretty cool stuff going on in here, actually. And then we got some music in that small category at the end there. So if you want water dripping sound or water bubbling, there's a drip. Here's bubble on a loop, or this is a loopable song. So there you go. So if you're looking for ambient sounds for your game, there's actually a pretty good collection of them in this. Let's see what we got for guns. So you got guns, silence guns, tasers. I wonder how specific it gets. So we go into guns. We have automatic barrel, spin, chamber, grenade, machine gun, pistol, cock, pistol. There's a lot in here, actually. I'm pretty impressed by this audio effect. So if you are looking for sounds for your game, there's actually a pretty good collection here in the Pro Sound Collection. Now, once again, I'm only showing you a subset because I didn't download these other random ones, but I also tend to find the random ones are, again, a little bit more, well, random. But there is a nice collection in there, and we've also got a couple specifically to music. So we've got here the RPG Music Pack. That's the only one there that is music. And then we saw over back here in this category, so if I go back into the Pro Sound, we will see there was a bonus music setting at the bottom right here that has various different music files going on. So I'll just pick one randomly. There you go. All right, that'll get in your head. Okay, so that is it. That is the Humble RPG Game Dev Bundle. That's the details of what is actually in the pack. Let me know in the future if you want me to keep doing that. Do you want me to keep actually purchasing these bundles and showing you, what's in them? Does it help you decide if this is the right pack for you? Also, the biggest thing again is from my old video, the license has been almost updated, or at least there is an intent to update the license that's coming along with this pack. Does it make you more interested in grabbing the pack? From what you saw of the contents, is this worth 20, 25 bucks to you, or nah, you're gonna let this one go? Now, another thing I should remind you of once again before I move on, the way that Humble Bundles do in fact work. Let me go to the Humble Bundle itself. Let's go straight to Humble Bundle. It's actually at tiers, so I never went to the home page. So you come in here, you will see if as a paid in different tiers. So what you want is in the dollar tier. All you need to spend is $1. So those tile sets we looked at earlier on, those are in the first tier. But those big packs that we've got, the massive ones, that the 4 gig and the 2 gig, that is in the where is that actually? Let me see. I imagine it's up here. Yeah, right there. That's the big 2 gig one right there, or the 4 gigs and graphics are in the top tier. So if you want like the biggest of the files, and I imagine the sound effect stuff is also that might be it right there. The big music one is also in the top tier. So if you want to have the majority of what we saw, you got to buy the toppest of the tiers. If you want to have more of the random stuff, that's in tier 1 and tier 2, just so that you're aware. And if you've never done a Humble Bundle before, basically it goes, if you pay $1, you get everything in the buck category. But if you pay a little bit more, you get everything in that category and the previous category, and then so on and so forth. So the top tier, you pay $20 or more, you get everything on the list, which is pretty cool way of doing things. So that is the updated version of the Humble RPG Game Dev Bundle. I think the new license is going to be a whole lot more accommodating than the old one. I had trouble recommending this bundle before with that license. That license was pretty much making it completely useless. With this update to the license, it is definitely much more useful. Even if you're just looking at resources for prototyping your games, because you're going to get in, these are going to look awfully familiar once people start using them. The cool thing here, though, is a lot of the graphics were actually bits and pieces of bodies in vector format, so you can actually create your own derived work. That's the nice thing about getting the Adobe Illustrator or the PSD file version or whatever. You've got the raw source materials, so you can remix and create your own derived work from these, and it's not going to look exactly like what everyone else did. So you can actually get an archive like this and not look exactly like everybody else that also purchased it, making it a whole lot more useful. And that's the nice thing about getting those raw source assets. But that is it for now. Let me know again what you think of the updated license, what you think of me covering Humble Bundles in more depth in general. And once again, thank you everybody for your support. And that is it for this bundle. If you're interested in it, at least as of today, you've got about 10 days left. Okay, talk to you all later. Goodbye.